Solving functions with adamonlinetutoring. Here are the beginner questions, some of the easier questions that you're likely to find on this topic. We can solve functions by finding inputs. Finding inputs in the context of functions is a crucial skill in GCSE maths. It involves determining the value of x that corresponds to a given output, in this case g of x. When you're given a function, g of x, and a specific output value, in this case 31, your goal is to find the input x that produces that output. This is essentially solving an equation where g of x, 19 take away 4x, is equal to g of x, 31. We can then solve for x using algebraic manipulation. So to find x when my function is equal to the output of 31, I can start by subtracting 19 from both sides. This would leave me with negative 4x on the left hand side, and 31 take away 19 is 12. Lastly, to solve for x, I can divide through by negative 4. Therefore, my input value, which gives me an output of 31, would be when x is equal to negative 3. For the first question, we had a linear function which created a linear equation, whereas for the second question, we can see that f of x is equal to a quadratic function, x squared minus 2x plus 3. So equating these equal to each other provides me with a quadratic equation which will need to be solved slightly differently to the first question. I can solve this quadratic equation by making it equal to 0, which means subtracting 27 from both sides. X squared minus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. I can then factorize and solve, factorizing into double brackets and looking for numbers that multiply to give me negative 24, but add to give me negative 2 would be negative 6 and positive 4. Therefore my solutions for x are when x minus 6 equals 0, x would be equal to positive 6, and when x plus 4 equals 0, x would be equal to negative 4. On to the intermediate questions with an increase in difficulty. This time we're given the function f of x, which is equal to x plus 1 over 3, and we're given a different function, g of x, which is equal to 2 over x plus 2. We need to find the values of x such that f of x is equal to g of x. That means we can equate these two functions equal to each other. X plus 1 over 3 is equal to 2 over x plus 2. Since we're finding the values of x, I'm essentially making x the subject. To do that, if x appears as a denominator, I'll need to multiply through by that denominator so that it's written as part of the numerator. Multiplying through by x plus 2, on the left hand side, I'll have x plus 1, which needs to be multiplied by x plus 2, and this is being divided by 3, which is equal to 2 on the right hand side. I can also multiply through by 3 to eliminate this denominator, and at the same time, I'll expand my double brackets so that I can manipulate this to solve the quadratic equation. Expanding the double brackets will give z plus 3x plus 2, and multiplying both sides by 3 will give me 2 multiplied by 3 on the right hand side, which is 6. Similar to the question covered previously, I can solve this quadratic equation by making it equal to 0. X squared plus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0, and this can be factorized before being solved. Numbers that multiply to give me negative 4, but add to give me positive 3, be plus 4 and negative 1. When x plus 4 equals 0, x would be equal to negative 4, and when x take away 1 is equal to 0, x would be equal to 1. For the second question, given that f of x is equal to x squared minus 17, and g of x is equal to x plus 3, we need to solve when the inverse function of f is equal to the inverse function of g. Let's start by finding the inverse function of f, making y equal to x squared minus 17, replacing x and y, and making y the subject, so adding 17 to both sides, and square rooting both sides, so the inverse function of f would be equal to the square root of x plus 17. Next, we can find the inverse function of g. Y is equal to x plus 3. Replace x and y, and make y the subject. X minus 3 is equal to y. Therefore, my inverse function of g is x minus 3. I can equate the inverse function of f and the inverse function of g to each other before solving to find my values for x. Start by squaring both sides to eliminate the square root from the left hand side. x plus 17 would be equal to, the two terms on the right are being squared, so I'll need to introduce a squared bracket, x plus 17, and expanding the double bracket of x minus 3 times x minus 3 will give me x squared minus 3x plus 9. I can simplify and make equal to 0 since I have a quadratic equation. X squared will remain the same. Negative 3x take away 3x is negative 6x, and I'll subtract x from both sides, giving me negative 7x on the right hand side. And then 9 take away 17 is negative 8. I can factorize before solving. I'm looking for numbers that multiply to give me negative 8 and add to give me negative 7, negative 8 and positive 1. Therefore, when x take away 8 is equal to 0, x would be equal to 8. And when x plus 1 equals 0, x would be equal to negative 1. On to the advanced question, one of the trickier questions that you're likely to find on this topic. F of x is equal to 1 over x plus 2 plus 1 over x minus 3. Given that f of x is equal to 4, we need to find the possible values of x. Giving our answer in this form, where p, q, and r are positive integers, I can equate the given function of x to the output of 4. So we're tasked with solving the equation that involves some algebraic fractions. Firstly, I'll need to combine the two partial fractions on the left-hand side. To combine these fractions, I'll need to find a common denominator, which can be found by multiplying these two denominators. I'll need to consider double brackets. Since x plus 2 has been multiplied by x minus 3, I'll need to also multiply the numerator by x minus 3, which would just be 1 multiplied by x minus 3. And for the other fraction, x minus 3 has been multiplied by x plus 2, so I'll need to multiply the numerator by x plus 2 also, so adding one lot of x plus 2. I can simplify the numerator by collecting like terms to give me 2x minus 1, and since I'm solving for x, which forms part of the denominator, I'll need to eliminate the denominator by multiplying both sides of the equation by x plus 2 bracket x minus 3. I can expand the right hand side of the equation, giving me 4 lots of x squared minus x minus 6, expanding further and multiplying by 4 to give me 4x squared minus 4x minus 24. And I can rearrange into a quadratic equation by moving all terms to one side of the equation and making equal to 0. I'll do this by subtracting 2x from both sides and adding 1 to both sides. 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 6x minus 23. Now equal to 0, we can solve the quadratic equation. The use of a calculator is permitted, so we'll be able to use the quadratic formula to do this. 4 is my value for a, negative 6 is my value for b, and negative 23 is my value for c. X is equal to negative b, so negative lots of negative 6, plus or minus the square root of, making sure we use brackets for any substituted values, negative 6 squared minus 4 lots of 4, lots of negative 23, all over 2 lots of a, 2 lots of 4. When simplifying, x is equal to 3 plus or minus root 101 all over 4. Therefore my value for p is 3, q is 101, and r is 4. Here's a question that I've completed earlier. It appears as though I've made some mistakes. Pause the video and see if you can spot what they are before writing some corrections in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. If you found that video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. If you're struggling with topics or finding maths difficult, subscribe and turn on notifications to receive regular updates about new video tutorials and other useful content. You can visit and follow all of my socials by clicking the links in the description below.